So how do I stay productive while running an online business and also working as a full-time teacher? You have to sacrifice things first off because you're balancing so much. So the things that I sacrifice is my sleep first off. I don't get as much sleep as what I probably should and would like to. I probably get about 4 or 5, at a push 6 hours sometimes sleep at the moment. And I know that's going to change and it's just a season thing. But first off, you've got to understand that you've got to make sacrifices. You've got to get rid of stuff. You've got to be even more ruthless with your time than what you would be if you were just doing the one thing, which is your online business. And so the first thing is you need to cut out anything that you know isn't good for you. If you haven't watched this video already, then make sure you watch my previous video, which talks about the mindset shifts that I've had and the advice that I have for changing your mindset and getting things sorted within your life. Watch that video first because it will massively help with this. So yeah, how do I stay productive? Well, there's a few things that I do. So one of the first things that I always do is win the night before. And what do I do here? Well, first off, I use a habit tracker. I'll link this video below as well. This habit tracker helps me to track every single thing that I do within my day. I use my Google Calendar as well because that has everything scheduled like a routine. It's like a timetable at school, but just for me. So I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and how to do it. Then the third thing, and this is a game changer. Now I took this from Charlie Morgan and it's been massive for me. And I write one of these every single night before I go to bed and plan out my day. And it is a daily planner. As you can see here, I'm not sure if you can see that. This is my daily planner. And what it does is it allows me to track every single part of my day. Now I'm going to put a photo of this on the screen. I'll also link the daily planner below so you guys can use it for yourself to schedule your day out. Now, I've always been someone that's worked better with paper and pen than what I have online. And this is the thing, like, you need to find out what works best for you, but I'll link this below for those people that love to have to-do lists or schedule days out. I like to have stuff on pen and paper. And the main reason for that is I like to scribble it out once it's done. It makes me feel good. I get a bit of a kick off it and it just motivates me and keeps me in line and makes me feel good about the fact that I'm making progress in my day. So the first thing that I always do with the daily planner is at the top here, I put the date. So whatever the date is, what it may be. The next thing that I do from here is I'll plan out my day based on my calendar and my to-do list. So my calendar, I'll put all the stuff in here first. And what that has is everything that's meant to be on there for the day, the things that I know I need to get done. And then on top of that, in those gaps where I've got, for example, deep work blocks, or I've got time in my day where I can do certain tasks, where I might have a free period at school, for example, what I'll do then is I'll schedule things from my to-do list in as well. So, and these are always the high priority tasks, the things that I know are going to move the needle forward more than other stuff, because we're very good at procrastinating and doing the things that don't necessarily move us forward. So it's prioritizing the stuff that you know is going to move you forward and get you better. So that's the next thing that I do. And I just plan my day out based on these timings here. As you can see, got all the timings from the day. It's got from 6:30 all the way to 11 p.m. and it's in 30-minute increments. That way I know what I need to do at a certain time. Then we've got the important stuff down the bottom. So the first thing is the productivity inventory. This is it, that here. Okay. And what this is all you're going to do is you're going to put the 3 most important tasks that you've put in your day in that productivity inventory. And if you don't complete all the tasks, you at least have to complete the productivity inventory. That's the thing that's going to move you forward with your business or with your day. And so filling out the productivity inventory is so important. Now the next thing, after this, you've got all the stuff that you would do at the end of the day. So I'd get a second one of these out and I'd have this blank next to me. And then I'd do the same thing. But before I do that, what I do is a few different things. So the first thing I do is, if you have a look at the top here, it's got hours, focus and output. Now, what do I do here? Well, first off, I look how many hours on my screen time have I spent on my Mac, and I sum that up, or I'll create the average of that. The second thing I do is I create a focus score, and the focus score is how well do I think I've focused out of 100. And this is just subjective, but I like to have this because it helps me understand how well I've done in my day. And then the output is how well you think you've done in all the tasks. So for example, if I completed all the tasks, everything's done, my focus and my output might be 80 or 90%. It's never going to be 100 because there's always stuff that you feel like you're going to improve on. That's the fun of it. And then all you do there is you work out your focus and your output score. So let's say my focus score is 60 and my output score is 50. Well, the percentage, the rating for the day would be 55%. And I'd just put that there. And then I put that into my habit tracker. Then I'd look at stuff of how I could improve, which is this section here. And I'd just write down anything from my day that I feel I could have improved on or done better at. And then I try and focus on that for the next day. And then finally down the bottom here, there's 2 other sections, which is distractions. So anything that's distracted me from the day. Have I been on my phone a little bit too much? Have I watched a little bit of short form content? Have I spent time with the wrong people? Have I spent too much time with family, for example? Those sorts of things. And then this here is how many calls were booked and how many calls were conducted. Just because then at the top of my mind, always I'm thinking about making the top of the funnel, getting calls booked for my business, making sure that we're conducting calls and potentially getting sales through the door as well. So this is what I use to help me first off. So this is what I use to help myself stay productive around my 9 to 5, and also to use my weekends as productively as possible. This is the biggest hack that I've had, and you can use this or you can adapt it, or you can not use it and put it onto a Word document and just do it online. It's completely up to you, but find what works for you, implement it, and then keep going with it and stay consistent with it. Hope this helps, guys. I'll link the daily planner below that I've used from Charlie Morgan and just adapted slightly. So if you want to use it, feel free. Otherwise, you remember, guys, as always, take action.